My God, I hate trucks.
For the first time since World War II, American forces conduct a large-scale airborne operation in the Philippines. It's just a joint training exercise between Filipino and U.S. Army troops, but officials say it is also a demonstration of commitment between two forces to come to each other's defense in case of any eventuality. David Santos has that story.
One by one, Filipino and American paratroopers jump out of planes to an airfield in Pampanga. 4 C-130 transport planes in 4 rotations, dropping about a total of 500 paratroopers. It's called a combined airborne operation exercise between the U.S. and Philippine armies, perhaps the biggest in modern history.
The last time a large-scale airborne operation was done here in the Philippines was back in World War II by the American forces themselves.
Putting together a large-scale airborne exercise is no easy task, from mounting the paratroopers, dropping them off, and ensuring their safe landing.
It's an opportunity for us to learn from the Filipinos and for the Filipinos to learn some from us.
An airborne force is summoned when operating troops have no land or sea access to a targeted area.
The airborne combat operation is probably among the least tactic the armed forces employs whenever it needs to insert troops in the combat zone. It is very rare. It is almost unheard of.
The last time an airborne operation was carried out was at the height of the anti-insurgency campaign in Mindanao in the 1970s.
Even the Americans have not really used airborne for so long.
But the Army sees the need to enhance its airborne capability now amid persistent threats of aggression from foreign forces that may lead to an attack or even an invasion.
You always train for something, even if you don't expect it to happen.
The Philippines is one of our most important friends and allies and partners in the region, and in order for us to work together effectively, it's important to train together.
Aside from improving interoperability, joint trainings like this serve as a constant reminder that the two allies are putting up a united front against those who threaten regional security. In Pampanga, David Santos, CNN Philippines.
Good job.
The Armed Forces has ordered a speedy investigation into the hazing death of Philippine Military Academy cadet Darwin Dormitorio. AFP Chief of Staff Benjamin Madrigal Jr. assures Dormitorio's family that justice will be served and the people responsible of the cadet's death will be handed over to authorities and will be made accountable. Meantime, Senator Mig Zubiri says fraternities seem to have not learned their lessons despite after the passage of the strengthened anti-hazing law last year. Zubiri says he will discuss with Senator Ping Lacson tomorrow how the government could help the cadet's family seek justice. The Dormitorio family is filing charges against those responsible for the cadet's death. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Darwin Dormitorio's brother, Dexter, said that they're just waiting for authorities to finish their investigation. The police tagged 3 of his fellow cadets in the incident. Dexter has an appeal to the public.
Please stop sharing the photos of my mom and my dad with my brother.
Okay.
It is painful and a bit disrespectful. We just want justice to be served. We're not happy that only the 2 identified cadets are being detained. We are very certain that there are more. So sana mahanap sila.
The PMA says it will file administrative charges against those responsible for the victim's death. Appropriate sanctions will also be handed down for all administrative violations, while a criminal investigation is ongoing. A lawmaker is calling for an investigation into unregistered Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. The chairman of the House Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Representative Ace Barber, says several, quote, colorum POGOs may be linked to illegal drugs and organized crime syndicates. Barber cites investigative reports and a United Nations study saying similar gaming operations in Macau and Cambodia were run by the Italian mafia and drug syndicates. He says he received reports indicating 46 of 58 POGOs are unregistered corporations. POGOs employ Chinese nationals. Thousands are said to be working in the country illegally. Lawmakers have filed a resolution seeking a congressional probe into the POGO industry, saying POGOs appear to be violating local immigration and labor laws. In a bold move to ease the situation of local farmers suffering from low prices of unhusked rice or palay, the Agriculture Department says it will double the tariffs on imported rice this harvest season. Caroline Bonkin has the details.
This 36 peso imported rice is cheaper than most local rice at this stall in Quezon City. Its low price, a tough competition for local farmers struggling to sell unhusked rice or palay at a reasonable price. With more farmers losing money amid historic low palay prices, the Agriculture Department is looking at increasing tariff on imported rice this harvest season. After all, the 2.4 million metric tons of rice imported since rice liberalization took effect in March is beyond what the country needs. Under the Safeguard Measures Act, the Agriculture Secretary may impose additional duties for 200 days if imports are hurting rice farmers. The Federation of Free Farmers Cooperatives says this is good news for farmers.
It will put a break on further imports, so hindi masyadong lalala yung glut. And then hopefully that will also allow the palay prices to go up.
In an original post that has been taken down, the Agriculture Department says tariff on imported rice from ASEAN countries will increase from 35 to 75% and from 50 to 100% for rice from other countries. In a new statement, DAR says is looking at least doubling the 35% tariff. The Agriculture Department asked concerned parties to comment on its investigation on imported rice tariff to stabilize supply and palay prices. DAR says tariff changes might take effect by end of the month or in October. But a farmers group says higher tariff just as the harvest season is starting seems a little too late. This should have been done in July.
Most of the imports are already in. No? So it might be a little bit too late for this season. But the big advantage or the importance here is you will at least arrest yung further drop in palay prices. No? And then hopefully by the next season, makarecover na talaga yung palay.
For Bantay Bigas, this won't do much for local farmers without intervention ng palay prices.
Hanggat hindi mag-i-intervene ang gobyerno doon sa pricing ng palay natin, hindi makakatulong kasi traders pa rin ang nakapagtatakda kung magkano binibili ang presyo ng palay ng ating mga magsasaka.
Agriculture Group SINAG sees a roughly 11 peso increase in imported rice prices once the government starts collecting more tariff, but assures it won't affect consumers. Local rice prices will be cheaper this harvest season.
More or less nasa 34 pesos yung bagong harvest eh. So yun ang presyo na retail price dapat.
Federation of Free Farmers Cooperative adds harvest this season alone is enough to feed the country for 200 days. Caroline Bonquin, CNN Philippines.